Yo, what up guys? Corey Sandman Sandhagen here. Welcome to another week of breakdowns. We're doing two this week. We're doing Aldo versus Martinez, and then we're doing Ursig versus Pantoja. In this video, we're gonna go over Aldo versus Martinez. Aldo, the king, is back. Maybe he'll stay, maybe he won't. Phenomenal fight. Either way, vintage Aldo, high guard, Dutch kickboxing style, kind of intermixed with Brazilian style. We're gonna get into that in this video. Make sure that you guys like, subscribe. Let's get into the breakdown. All right, guys, cool. So let's talk about Jose Aldo first, all right? His style just in general. It's kind of a little bit from like the Dutch kickboxing style, I believe. I'm not like super familiar with like the history of all of Brazilians martial arts, especially in the kickboxing world, but I do know that the Brazilian style of fighter, tight guard, hands high, moving, a lot of low kicks, a lot of hooks, like kind of like 3 or 4 punch combinations, not a ton of like just straight jabs or a movement based style. This kind of style here, boom, like how Aldo has and a lot of the other Brazilians have. I'm almost positive that that came from Dutch kickboxing. I know that Aldo used to train with a guy named Andy Sauer, so once you're done watching this video, make sure that you guys go over, type in Andy Sauer, watch a bunch of Andy Sauer's fights because he is such a pleasure to watch. Aldo used to train with Sauer in the Netherlands. I also went out for a couple trips out to the Netherlands to also train with Andy Sauer. So I know that there's like a lot of cross-pollination there with the Dutch kickboxing style and Aldo's style, and I think kind of the Brazilian style just in general. So a couple things to talk about. Like I already said, hands are high, a lot of like hooks, a lot of kind of stalking people down, staying in really, really good position. This style is a super good example of a style that never leaves position. Position is incredibly important in fighting. If I can always be standing here with as many fingers on as many triggers as I can, that means I could throw my jabs and straights, I could throw my hooks, my uppercuts, my low kicks, my knees. If I have all of my fingers on all of my triggers at all times and I'm not moving like this, moving like this, moving like this, pulling out like this, taking steps off to the side that are really out of position, you're going to be in a much safer spot because you can defend in all directions, and you'll also be safer because when they throw at you, you can definitely have, like I said, all your fingers on all the triggers, which gives you a lot more options. So that's really important to note, okay? Aldo's style is very positional. It's very walk you down, have tight guard, you throw punches on me, I block them, I check, and that's kind of the basis of the style. The thing that Aldo adds in that makes this different and makes it better than someone that just stands there like this is Aldo is always doing some type of jerky motion with his hands, and that makes it very hard to read when those power shots are going to come. The Dutch kickboxing style and the Brazilian kickboxing style don't have a lot of uncommitted punches. So what I mean by that is you're not going to see a lot of like touching with the jab or soft low kicks like Max Holloway against Justin Gaethje, where they're just kind of like feeling things out, throwing soft low kicks, or someone that uses their jab just to kind of like find their range and poke at someone. You don't see that from the Brazilian style and the Dutch style. What you see is when they go to throw a punch, they commit on their punch. They throw all of their power into their punch, and that's a really important thing to note. Because the way that Aldo moves in this really jerky way, it makes it really hard to read when he's going to pull the trigger on that gun, okay? Someone's over there coughing. It's really hard for me to pay attention, sorry. You all right, Curtis? Where you're like this, okay? Aldo has this kind of jerkiness to him, boom, where he's like this. I know too, when you stand in front of guys that have this really jerky style and they're really positioned and they look like pissed off, and you know that when they throw punches, they're really going to be committed, it will make you a little bit, maybe not nervous is the right word, but in your head, you'll start to be like, he's jerky like this. If I throw a jab and he slips and throws those punches at me, a little bit scary, okay? That's what, honestly, I think was on Martinez's mind a lot. Maybe because he was also like looking right into the eyes of one of the greatest, you know, MMA fighters in all of history. But all those moving in front of you here, jerky like this, kind of touching that lead hand a little bit, but not overextending himself, touching a little. And when he throws, he really chucks bombs at him, okay? It was really hard for Martinez to deal with. Martinez kind of, for whatever reason, he wanted to play that game with someone that's just really good at that game. Wouldn't have been the strategy that I would have used, but that's okay. You know, he chose to stand in front of him, be this really long, picky southpaw guy, boom, score those leg kicks that he throws really well. But if you're gonna stand in front of Aldo, Aldo's probably gonna win. He's like a hell of an athlete, his timing's amazing, and he's like super experienced. Probably not the best idea in my opinion, but yeah. Really awesome. I thought Aldo coming back, that was like super sick, especially like me being just such an Aldo fan. If you guys can, check out some of the K1 style fights, Dutch kickboxing style fights, after you hit like, subscribe, and you guys comment a little bit, because that era of fighting, I don't know if the newer fans are familiar with, but that era of fighting is definitely one worth watching. So peace. I love you guys.